Howdy folks, it's Charlie here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're going to take a look at another Big Radials airplane. It is a Nieuport 17 we're looking at today. If you recall from the previous video or a few videos ago, I was gifted the entire hangar of Big Radials. They have 4 aircraft at the time of this recording. Just as a thank you for Flight Sim after all these years. Big Radials was one of my first subscribers, and they even sent me a link to my first video that they saw, which we replicated in the previous first look video. So we're going through all 4 aircraft. We already did the Norseman, and now we're going to do the Nieuport 17 today. We will get to the Grumman, don't worry. Big Radials tells me that Grumman is their proudest work, so we're going to save that one for last as my first look series progresses through their hangar. Today, though, we're going to focus on the Nieuport 17. You can read all about it on the Big Radials website. Just go to the website, bigradials.com, click on documentation, and then you can read all about the aircraft without purchasing the aircraft. So I'm not going to read you the entire history page of this aircraft, but it will tell you it's a French airplane, 1.5 wings, and it does some cool stuff, including some guns. So, first of all, comes in 4 liveries, as you can see here, and it's a pretty simple aircraft, but I don't mean that lightly. It's simple in that it's not like a turboprop or regional airline or anything like that. It's a fun aircraft. I think it's going to be like in the novelty category, but like still a high-end airplane in the novelty category. I think that's what I'm predicting. That's what we're going to find out in a minute here. And that's what we're going to find out in a minute here. So if you want to know where we are, you can look in the description, but we're in Newfoundland. Why? Because tomorrow, well, I guess you know, as I record this, tomorrow we're getting a Newfoundland puppy. And I'll probably be talking about that a lot in future videos. So I'm like, hey, why not take off from an airport in Newfoundland? So we're just checking out the aircraft here. You can see the guns on top. I'll have to figure out how to operate those. I think they operate in the simulator. I'm pretty sure they do. I've never used them. We'll find out, I guess. We do have to map a key on our keyboard for throttle blip. We'll talk about what that means in a minute. I'm just right now checking out this aircraft as my drone camera is way too fast. In fact, I should probably set up some kind of a thumbnail shot maybe from the ground. Do you think that would work? Well, that's kind of big. Oh, come on, I'm trying to get up with my rudders. There we go. I don't know. I'll get a thumbnail later. Okay, so without further ado, let's go into our settings and our control options, right? And keyboard. And we need to do throttle blip, which is called, I'm looking in here, toggle master ignition switch. So toggle master, I'm not going to type, toggle master ignition switch. Could I put toggle? Maybe we should try toggle master. Oh wow, please learn to type. It's because my keyboard is to my left, so I'm not typing in front of myself. I'm kind of off to the left, so my keys are bad. So toggle master, where is it? Toggle master ignition switch is Alt I already. No, I think we just want I. Let's clear the input. And can I just do I? Will that work, or is that going to conflict? Nope, I. Okay. I for ignition. That's how we'll remember it. Okay, very cool. So this airplane has no brakes, so we got to keep that in mind as we move around. And then you use that toggle switch to slow down because your idle is too fast to land. So you blip the throttle. Other aircraft do this too. A few other aircraft do this too. But you blip it, and then it slows you down because it stops the prop. It would be nice to have it on my yoke, but this is only aircraft I would need it for. So let's move about the cockpit here, set up some presets as we go. Let's see if I can set this up. I don't know how we want to do this. We need to keep an eye on a few things, so we'll make this our main view. And then we're going to zoom this in here, and then we will talk about all this stuff is after I set up another view here. So it looks like we have our speedometer here, and then we have our compass right in the middle. That tells us there's a click spot there. It's all a click spot. It's doing stuff over here when I click. You see that? What the heck is going on? Anyway, compass here. Do we have gyro drift? Maybe, maybe not. Altimeter, which you can hardly see, and then our tachometer, which you can actually see. Okay, I'm just blind. It's not the fault of the aircraft. It's just me. I'm just trying to see how this works. Altimeter 48. We'll figure out how that works when the time comes. Alrighty, let's see what else is there to look at in the cockpit. We have, come here, airplane. We have some goodies over here, looks like. So let's start with this view and move it over. And then bring it in a little bit here. This will probably be my 3. There we go. Alright, so what do we got? We have a hammer, which, oh yeah, so what you do with this is you take the hammer out, and then you can hit it on top of the gun if the gun jams. I'm not kidding. That's really what you do. So if your gun jams, you hit it with the hammer. I'm not joking. That's how you do it. And then we got magnetos, of course. Makes sense. Fuel lever is this one. Oh, level, fuel level. That tells you how much fuel you have. Right. Fuel cutoff is here. And then mixture and throttle are here. Mixture is, which one is mixture? Mixture is the smaller one that I can hardly tell right here. There we go. See how it moved. And then throttle. Just like that. Make sense? And then this clipboard is super cool. This is like your options. So you've got your guns, right? So if you go like this, notice the gun is gone. See? So the gun is gone. Gun is back. And then you can decide if you want kilometers per hour, miles per hour. And then your radios, which I think there are radios over there to the right. Yeah. See, now they're gone. And then this is like your cold and dark, right? Your chocks. If you go out here, you get chocks and everything down. Where'd they go? Yep, see them. Come on. Why is my thing being so weird? Chocks right there and everything. But if you come back inside, come back out, see everything's gone, right? So that's your cold and dark type thing. And then checklists in plane checklist. So start up, blah blah. We'll go through all this actually through their checklist and their documentation. But if you just want to see it quickly, there you go. There are your speeds. Stall speed 41, normal operating speed 100, approach 57. We're going to keep that in mind. But anyway, so that's what that is. Very simple. I'll turn that on for now, and then I think to hide it, you click up here. There's a click spot up here. There it is. That puts it away. Why clicking around makes this go forward? That's interesting. We do have another thing to look at over here. Yep, we have our radios. Let's zoom this in and bring it down. Move it over a little bit, and this will be our preset 4. I mean, very obvious, I guess. There's your radio and the clock, so you can see what time it is. Yeah, that's not complicated whatsoever. Let's just look up here. There's the guns with the ammunition thing. Just checking everything out. Whoa. Just looking around. See? There we go. So again, seems to be kind of a novelty aircraft, but a high quality one. Oh, we also need to get our, there's a starter click spot up here we need to do a preset on, but I need to find out exactly where that preset is. Looks like it's right in here, so we need to zoom this in a little bit and go up like this, and then right in here, so that'll be 8, my preset 8. There you go. So all right, let's see, we got our forward view IFR type thing, if you want to call it that. Fun things over there, fun things over there, and then we'll do some presets out the window. Real life weather, by the way. I don't know how windy it is. I assume it's flyable weather. We'll find out soon, won't we? Let's make that preset 6. And let's make this preset, I don't know, 0, I guess. Whoa, come up like this. Whoa, that's kind of ambitious. There we go. Make that preset 0. 7 is ahead, and then 8 is our starter thing. Can we open this window? We can. Okay, so you open the window, then I think you pick up the gun, the hammer, and then you knock it loose. If it jams, and you put it back, and you close your window. There we go. That is so cool. Alright, I think we've gone over everything we need to do. And then I is our throttle blip. So if we go in here, this button here would be throttle blip. My keyboard, as you can hear. Alrighty, I think that's all there is to talk about. Documentation also includes some maneuvers you should try, that type thing. So let's just get this thing started up and have some fun with it, right? I'm already putting too much overthought into this, I think. I just want to give a thorough view. What does this thing do? Oh, that's the gun thing? Am I shooting off the guns? I guess I am. I'm just wondering if it's actually like has shooting animations or anything. Oh, you can't really get to it. I thought maybe get you from the outside view, but he can't. I'm confused because that's the gun there. I guess that just operates it? Interesting. Is that even in the documentation? That lever? I didn't see it in the documentation. I'm going through the documentation right now on my other monitor. This isn't even in the documentation at all. That's weird. Okay, going through it again. Nope, nope. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but nope, nothing about firing the guns. So that's maybe this was written before an update or something. Interesting. Also, while I'm on the topic of documentation, there are 2 landing challenges in the bush trip. At least there are in the documentation, which we may or may not do. I did find them in my custom section of the activities section within the sim, and there's bush trips from other airplanes too. So there's like 5 or 6 activities that came with each aircraft combined that I didn't know were in the sim. Now they are. Some I might do them in the future. We'll see. Alrighty, without further ado here, let's do startup. So fuel needs to be open. There we go. Do that on my yoke. Mixture full forward. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Fuel is this one. There, fuel is open. You can tell. See, it's a lever. Now you can go through. So you just like plug me in your house. Mixture. There's mixture. Throttle 1 inch. That's like 2 inches. Magnetos off. Press and hold prop for 3 seconds. Then release. That's this thing here. No, that's not the prop. There's the prop. 3 seconds. And then release. That was the door I closed or window I opened. And then magnetos on. And then press it again. I think I have to do this faster than I did though. And then, no, I keep pushing the, yeah, Control E should start everything. Okay, so we're just going to do it that way. We're going to do it the cheesy way and whatever. I don't know what I did wrong, so Big Radials, if you're watching, let me know what I did wrong, because obviously I did something wrong. Taxi controls free, pick a direction and go. We're not going to worry about ATC for this one, just because we're, you know, living in the old days. So let's go to our taxi view. There's no parking brake, because there are no brakes. So what you need to do is give it some juice, and then go, and then bring back throttle, and be careful with your rudder, because it'll keep going, right? The inertia will keep going. And what's happening is the prop wash is what's giving it something to turn with. That's why you have to give it a big burst of energy to turn and to get going. No flaps that I'm aware of. I don't know why there would be flaps on something like this, right? That'd be weird. So we're just going to taxi through. So far taxiing is much easier than I expected. So that's fabulous. You just have to understand how the prop wash works and the inertia works, so that you can keep going, not turn too much, that type of thing, not go too fast, because there are not brakes. There shouldn't be brakes. What? Brakes worked. I used my brakes and they worked. aren't supposed to be, hang on a second, let me look at something in the documentation. It says on page, where are you? Page 7, it says, remember you have no brakes when you taxi. Plan your strategy for taxiing the straight lines. But I just used my brakes and it worked and it flipped over. Whoa, okay, so I just started it all by myself. I don't know what I did, but I was able to start it all by myself. I just opened the tap, did the thing, turned those on, did the thing, and it worked like it's supposed to. I don't understand. Interesting. Well, okay, I don't know why it works now. But there's a parking brake as well, so I don't know. I'm not sure why it didn't work, but oops. Please don't hit anything. Please not be a solid object. Thank you. Well, let's try to taxi again, and now I know we have brakes. So that's kinda weird. The documentation says we don't. Also has a parking brake. Also has a gun lever. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna taxi down here. And then whoa. Yep, you gotta be careful. The inertia really does take you. I'm not doing as well as my other taxi, but that's because I feel like I'm in a hurry. I shouldn't feel like I'm in a hurry. So let's just slow down here, and then it should be easier to taxi. There we go. Yeah, let's just take off from here. Come on. Yep. Again, we have brakes, but I'm not going to use them because they flip you over. And then no ATC, no lights, no flaps, no retractable gear. Just a fun warplane from France. And we're going to enjoy ourselves here for a couple minutes. Spending more time talking about taking off and starting up. Then we'll be in the plane probably. But that's totally okay. Come on, here we go. Come on, let's hop inside now. I probably should have had some side views set up. That's okay. I'm not going to worry about it in this flight. There we go. And I think we take off already. Yeah, no problem. Right, RPMs are down. Whoa, no, RPMs are down here. Speed is up here. 90, 100, and then altimeter. B for the barometer, D for gyro drift. Not a problem. Alright. Very windy. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Gracious? This is so windy, but anyway. It's beautiful. So, let's do a quick second here of sightseeing while I take a screenshot. But this isn't really a sightseeing video. It's a first look video of the airplane. And I love this thing. Already. Again, to me it feels like a novelty aircraft, which I think is the point. That being said, it is a very high quality novelty aircraft. A lot of times a novelty aircraft are just kind of silly. But this is not silly. Can we fire the gun? I think so. Looks like it's firing something. And this is above the prop, because usually with guns, they're timed so the bullets go between the prop blades at high speeds. That's how they usually work, but this looks like it's above the prop, so that won't be a problem. Yeah, interesting. Okay, cool. So it says you can do some maneuvers here. It says you can do some turns where you gain some speed, and then you come up, and then when you're at the top, like this, you turn around. And that's not really working, is it? We're stalling instead. I tried. Just playing around. Anywho, so I'm trying to think if there's really much else to say. Not really. I mean, we did an extensive walk around already. We looked at the cockpit in great detail. I spent forever trying to start it up. And then I eventually was able to start it up. It does have brakes, even the documentation clearly says it doesn't. It comes with landing challenges and a bush trip, which we may do in the future. Yeah, a lot of fun. It handles really well, even in this wind. We'll see how it lands in this wind. I don't expect to land successfully. I kind of expect to crash. But otherwise, I would say this is definitely a hit. You should go buy it. I do not know the price of this, though. I can't remember. At the time of this recording, they have like $20 aircraft and like $15 aircraft or something. You'll have to just go on the website and see. But I definitely recommend this if you're into novelty aircraft, vintage aircraft, fighter plane things. This is definitely one to put in your hangar. I generally do not fly this type of aircraft, so you may not see this again from me, but I'm happy to have it in my hangar. I want to thank Big Radials again for providing the aircraft for me to try out. And I see the Pappy says I'm too high, but I'm trying to line up the runway here. I don't understand why I can see the Pappy from this angle, because I'm at a very terrible angle. Anyway, so the way this works is you need to blip the throttle, because at idle you go too fast. Because we're at what? 140, and it says to land at 95 or come out 125, land at 95 or something. But anyway, that is too fast. So what you do is you blip the throttle just before touchdown, and then it slows you down. Although I feel like we're going slow enough as it is. What happens if I blip the throttle? So yeah, there you go. So what happens then is you hold it just for a second or two. See, it kills it. See, you don't hold it too long or the engine will shut off, and you can't do it too close together, it'll start on fire. That's what the instructions say. But I feel like we're going plenty fast. I mean, plenty slope to touch down here. So we'll see what happens as we come in for a crash landing. Now I'll blip the throttle. Well, okay, made a stall. So what happened was I blipped the throttle and it made a stall, and then we crashed. So therefore, I definitely would have been. I would have been plenty slow without blipping the throttle, because I stalled when I blipped the throttle. That makes sense? I hope that makes sense. So basically, now that I'm not concentrating on landing, at idle, you are going too fast to land. You can't go slow enough with the throttle, even at idle. So you blip it, which means you kill the engine a little bit, which slows you down so you can land. However, I was going slow enough to land without blipping the throttle, so when I did, I stalled. That's what happened. So, I love the aircraft, but I am confused about a couple things. I'm confused that there are brakes, and the documentation says there aren't. And I'm confused about the throttle blip, because clearly I was coming in for a landing slow enough without blipping the throttle. I know I was blipping the throttle way up there, but that was just for fun. So I'm kind of confused. But anyway, if I were to try this again, I would practice before I make a video so that we have a better flight. But this is a first look video, which means I don't look at this at all. I read the documentation, but I don't look at it before I make the video. So that's what this is. I recommend. This is definitely a recommend, especially if you're into like novelty aircraft, vintage aircraft. If you take these type of aircraft very seriously, then this airplane is definitely very serious if this is what you're into. For me, it's a novelty, but it's a high quality novelty, and I like it. I'm going to keep it in my hangar, and I may show it again. So hopefully you liked the video. I admit it wasn't as polished of a video as I would have liked, but hey, I keep everything raw on the Tall Turtle channel. I don't redo things. I don't edit things together to make it look better than it is. You get it raw. And that is very raw, hanging upside down now. But anyway, hopefully you liked it. Subscribe for more, turn on notifications so you know when the videos drop, and like the videos so people know we exist. I got several comments over the weekend of people asking me why my channel isn't bigger than it is. That is my most popular or most common comment, is why am I not more popular on YouTube? And I just don't promote myself, so you guys have to promote me for me by hitting the like button so the algorithm knows we exist. And I'll see you again soon for either Formula 1, bush trips, or more first look videos. See you then.